sad to say that this video is not going to be going up the time I want it to go up. It's literally like 6 p.m. Like, I think it's Eastern Standard Time where I'm at. And with how slow my internet is and how slow my service is, this video will not be going up till probably the next day, if not 2 days from now. I'm supposed to get it out today, but yesterday I talked about suicide. Today I want to talk about drug addiction. Another horrible topic, but I gotta say, that is something I have gone through, and that's something I am right now recovering for. To like this, when this video is going out, well, later on, I'm gonna be longer sober, but I am 4 months sober. This video coming out, I could probably be 5 months, 6 months, 7 months sober if you're just tuning into this. If not a year, 2 years, 2 years. I can't predict the future. I will never be able to predict the future. But right now, currently, I'm over 4 months sober when this video came out, and I am sober over drugs, not alcohol. For me, I never personally liked alcohol. I was never a big fan of it. I hated downers. I was more of an upper guy. So when it came to my drug of choice, I picked uppers more than downers. I don't know a whole lot about downers, but I do know that opiates is a big time killer right now. And it's just horrible. Like, everything all about it, like, all about drugs is pretty horrible. Especially what I was doing is pretty horrible. But here's a couple famous inventors out there that actually has done drugs before. Thomas Edison, he did cocaine elixirs. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates both did LSD. And you guys probably know Mike Lindell. He's the guy that made my pillow, my coffee, my slippers. He had a crack addiction, and now he's being successful. All these people are successful, but it doesn't mean go do drugs. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, for me personally, I'm trying to push you guys away from doing drugs before you end up going to prison your first time, going to jail your first time. Drugs, personally, are bad. They are horrible. They fuck up your body in so many ways. They are horrible. Like, addiction is, like, I got some notes. I'll put the link where I got my notes in the description. Addiction is just a chronic disease characterized by drug seeking and use that is compulsive or difficult to control despite consequences. It's common for a person to relapse, but it doesn't mean treatment doesn't work. Treatment is there to get you pushed away of not doing drugs. That's what treatment's for. Some of us aren't strong enough to take the treatment. Some of us don't want to take the treatment. For me personally, I didn't go to rehab, but I did go to jail first. But only because there's a couple reasons. There's a couple reasons why. I for one thought rehab would not benefit me in a way. But being 4 months sober, I recently just got out of jail. You probably already know that. I said it a couple times, but for me, I think I should definitely take the treatment, only because I want to hear. I like to experience it. I can't just go out and go to rehab. They actually have NAs around my area that I'm actually going to go to. So hopefully that's something that might be very beneficial for me in the long run, because there's a lot of hoops I have to go through. On probation and everything, there's a lot of shit that I need to, like, figure out what I got to go through, and shit, just a lot of hurdles. It's just a lot of hurdles. That's really all it is. Most drug affect the reward cycle, or the reward circuit. It's in our brains. It's the euphoria and the dopamine that's in our brains. We produce it, but some type of, like, drugs, even having intercourse, that, like, it brings out a lot of dopamine and euphoria in our minds, where it's like, ooh, this is cool. This is a nice feeling. So having more and more of that makes you want to do more and more drugs, or makes you want to have more and more intercourse. I, for one, I used to be really big in intercourse, but I kind of fell out of that. I kind of grew out of it because it was just kind of repetitive in a way. I'm not a big fan of intercourse like I used to be. It's just probably just how I am, or just how I act towards it. I'm not a big fan of it. I just don't enjoy it as much as I used to. And I'm only a few years older than where I was getting as much as I wanted to. But now, recently, I don't want to as much. In a way, it's a good thing because I avoid all of like STDs, STIs, AIDS, shit like that. I avoid all that. But it's not because I'm avoiding it because I'm scared. It's just I don't find the amusement or enjoyment out of intercourse like I used to. There's long-term effects that when like being on drugs with long-term effects that will mentally mess you up. You'll be unable to, or it'll be more difficult for you to learn how to do things. Your judgment on your perception will be messed up. Your decision making, the only decisions you would want is to go get high. Figure out how to get high, when to get high, where to get high. Those are the only judgments you would take, or your decision making is going to take. That, but you don't want to like go out and do something. You want to go do something, go get high. Stress. You're gonna be stressed out because either you're running low, or you don't know where to get some, or it could be a lot of other things. Like it could be your life. You're like right now, like your personal life could be stressed out because you're like everyone's mad at you, or they're not happy with what the choices you're making. So instead of fighting your choices or fighting what's going on in your brain, you just want to go get high. I mean, that's not even right. For me, that I used to think like that. I did. I like most of these. I did. Like my memory was going, my stress was maxed out, and my behavior changed dramatically. I was stealing. I was robbing people. I was stealing people. I was stealing from people. All I want to do is get high. I don't want that anymore. I actually want to enjoy my life. Like I don't want to go make a couple of bucks and turn that couple of bucks into just something that I just want to get high off of. I want to show my money, kind of. For me, I'm an accessory guy. I mean, you can tell I got some gold bling here, fucking accessories here. I guess I got accessories all over. I like to show off my money in a way. Like I have 2 vehicles to my name at the moment. Like right when I got out of jail, I knew I had a vehicle when I got out. Now I have a whole other vehicle, so I gotta like take care of both my vehicles. There's a lot I gotta do with my money now. I can't just go out and blow it and get high off if I want to. My high is making you guys feel better, making you guys not go towards drugs or push towards drugs. That's my type of high. That's my type of dopamine that's going on. Like making one of you guys feel a whole lot better about your perspective on things and making you go to the right path to the wrong path. That's my type of high, and that's the type of high that I want to keep. I want to make other people feel better than how I'm feeling already. Like I may have a lot of shit going on. You guys also may have a lot of shit going on, but having one person speak out about their situation, about helping themselves out, having just that little moral support will come a long way of making you feel better. A lot of talking in this. I didn't get really a whole lot of notes, but not being or feeling high coming down. You have a lot of dopamine when you get high, but that just means your tolerance is going up. When you smoke every day, like when you smoke weed every day, you gotta smoke more just to get more high. The same way with drinking energy drinks, as you can tell, energy drink. That's gonna get me wired all day, probably all night. That's just because that's like my couple. I only had a couple ever since I got out, so my tolerance to energy drinks is like way low. So the same way with like eating food, your tolerance will build up. That's how you get more fat on yourself. Doing dope's the same way. You have to get more dopamine, more euphoria. If you don't have that dopamine that you constantly kept going smoking, and then you just cut it like 3-4 days, you're gonna feel depressed. You're gonna feel like there's nothing to life than just laying in bed all day. That's just a way of like your body is like coming off of what you're doing. Like other drugs, it's harder than more drugs and everything like that. It just depends what really drug you do. Like for me, I was more of the uppers guy, so I did more uppers than downers. But I was around people that did a bunch of downers, and they just liked it. But it was very like it hurt them in a physical way and a mental way, where it's like they have to get high to just feel normal, and that's not right. That's not right at all. That's just like your talent's building up, and you need more of a talent to stay motivated, to stay active. Sometimes people just need like a little 10 or a 20 just to get by for not feeling like shit. That's just like if you're constantly keep getting high off of like a downer, mainly opiates. Opiates is a killer. Like nowadays, like people are dropping like flies with this. Like since COVID hit, it was just horrible. Like you can get drugs anywhere you want. That's not a good thing. That's never not a good thing. Never not a good thing. There's help out there, but no one wants to take the help. There's a couple reasons why I say that. They can't afford it. That's the main one right there. Like, they know they want help. They know they can get it. They just don't want to get it because they can't afford it, or they don't know how to afford it, or with bills, taxes, you gotta fill up your vehicle. Gas is being almost $5-6 now. People can't keep affording things that they can't afford. Like, they got to start cutting back on this. That means they got to start cutting back on this, and this. That'll raise more stress to your already stressed out life and makes you want to do more things. And it's just horrible. Like, or they don't want the help because they know it won't help them. I was a firm believer of myself, saying like, that help's not going to help me if I take it. That I was only saying that because I was kind of like telling myself, like, if I go get it, it's not going to help me. Going to jail helped me. I gotta say that going to jail did help me. I'm not saying everyone should go to jail. I'm just saying some help is better than no help at all. And if you need help, feel free to go ask for help. Everyone out there is willing to help anyone that is having problems right now. There was a passing in my family, my immediate family, of suicide, and it wasn't from dope or drugs at all. I don't know what the whole circumstance was about that, but honestly, I'm gonna miss him no matter what. Like it's just something that was so dramatic that it just happened, like, right on the spot. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened. All I know is that happened, and it's not a good thing just to like shrug it off and think it's good at all. But I've lost. There's a couple people that I was around that I affiliated with last 2 years. They OD'd either this year or last year, and it's just heartbreaking that I lost them over some dope. But it's just sad. But I mean, if they don't want to accept the help, and they don't want to accept the help, can't tell someone or force someone against their will to go get help, because that's going to steer them away to not get help. Or it might steer them away to do even worse than what they are now. But if you really have a very strong support system in your area, for me, I do have a strong support system right now. Like, I got a couple of my friends that reached out to me, some long distance friends that reached out to me, friends, family. I got a moderate support system, and some of them did go through the drug problem that I went through. For some reason, ironically, all my friends all of last year, 2 years ago, did it, and now we're all sober. So that's crazy. So we all have a strong support. We all understand what we're going through. It's horrible that we're all going through it, but we're strong enough to not go back to the past. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple more things. I know this is getting very lengthy. I'm not trying to make these lengthy, but I'm a talker. Who does it affect? Who does it affect when you're on drugs all the time? It affects your physical, your mental, all your friends, your families. It may not physically affect you if they're doing the drug, but it mentally messes with your brain in a way of, like, he's still hurting himself. He's still harming himself. This is the way he wants to live his life. There's no going back. There's no figuring out what he wants. It's just sad that some people, they say it hurts them. They say they want to stop. They say they want to be a good person. But their only thing is they want to get high no matter what. Like, yeah, I named off some famous inventors that got high. Yeah, they steered their life the right way. It doesn't mean you can go out and go do drugs and come out with a new invention. Everyone can't just do that. But some people can pull it off. I'm not saying everyone can pull it off, or some people can really just pull it off. I'm not trying to steer anyone towards that way, because they got out of it. They got out of it. They made their life successful. They were probably just going through a rough patch. We all went through a rough patch. I know that for a fact. I've gone through it. A lot of other people that I know, my friends' family, have gone through it. Now, my family mainly didn't go through it all, but my friends did. And it just affects everything. It even affects your job if you have a job. Like if you're codependent on a certain drug, it's going to start affecting your work style, your lifestyle, what you do, where you do it, when you do it. It's going to affect all that. And it's just sad that more people are steering towards this drug. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, you gotta like patch up your feelings, because one of the main reasons why I'm going to do drugs is like you're scared of your feelings. You're scared to go out and actually conquer your feelings to actually do better in life. I mean, I forgot my feelings when I went there. I just didn't know how to deal with my feelings. That's the only way I could do it. I had to open the door, so there's a little glare. That's why. Worldwide deaths is about 500,000, and 70% of that is related to drug use, and 30% of the 70 is an overdose. An overdose is overdosing what you do normally. That's another thing about doing drugs, is not knowing your limit. If like some people, there's people out there getting high right now, but they know their limit. But there's other people out there that double their limit, that double their dose that they think they can handle, or just stopping for like 2-3 months and then doing the same amount they were doing back then, thinking they can handle it, and they end up in overdose. And it's mainly just an opiate overdose. And opiates, they're mainly all downers. They literally take everything that type of physical feeling and numb it, or they just kind of shut you down. And that's kind of how overdoses start happening. It's a dangerous amount that you're adding to your main amount. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling on for several minutes. I'm sorry this video is not coming out the when I wanted it to, and it won't be out when I want it to. I might try to get uptown so I can get this uploaded today. If not, try to get something uploaded tomorrow. I'll try to have a video every day. I do have a couple more topics I want to talk about. The next one I might write about is support, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to write about that or not. But I got about probably 4 or 5 more topics I want to talk about. I'll just keep adding on until I get to the point where more topics need to be talked about. But this is my experience on drugs. If you need help, or you know someone that's doing drugs, try to reach out to them and let them know that you care for them, you love them, and you want to be there so they can get better or sober up. That's the best I can really say. I just hope that some people that I used to hang around see this and take it for granted, not just a grain of salt. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys stay around. I know my last video did pretty good yesterday. I hope this one does a little bit better. But drug addiction is definitely up there with suicides. It's a horrible thing to process, and it's a horrible thing to deal with. But I just hope everyone just has a better day. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them, and everyone matters no matter what. That's probably going to be my motto. But deuces.